Everybody, today we have another hard story, so content warning of sexual assault here. Sometime later, David's son Amnon fell in love with Tamar, the beautiful sister of Absalom, who was also David's son. Amnon was so upset over his half-sister that he made himself sick. She was a virgin, and it seemed impossible in Amnon's view to do anything to her. So he lay down and pretended to be sick. The king came to see him, and Amnon told the king, "Please let my sister Tamar come and make a couple of heart-shaped cakes in front of me so that I can eat from her hand." And Amnon said to Tamar, "Bring the food into the bedroom so I can eat from your hand." So Tamar took the cakes she had made and brought them to her brother Amnon in the bedroom. When she served him the food, he grabbed her and said, "Come sleep with me, my sister." She said to him, "No, my brother, don't force me. Such a thing shouldn't be done in Israel. Don't do this horrible thing." But Amnon refused to listen to her. He was stronger than she was, and so he raped her. Then Amnon felt intense hatred for her. In fact, his hatred for her was greater than the lust he had felt for her. So Amnon told her, "Get out of here." When King David heard about all this, he got very angry. He refused to punish his son Amnon because he loved him as his oldest child. So, recapping a little from yesterday, we talked about how God doesn't punish kids for their parents' sin. But what we see here is that sin can have generational consequences. Right? Even if we didn't make the mistake, we may have to deal with their mistake. And if we did make the mistake, we better deal with it, or it's going to come back to bite us or those that we care about. But what could David have said to his son Amnon before this horrible act, or after he had done it here? Right? What made you think that you could take any woman that you wanted? "Well, I learned it from you, Dad." Maybe that's why David is hesitant to punish him. Did David really model for his children that he'd done wrong? Right? We do see his repentance after Nathan's parable. We heard it in Psalm 51. But did Amnon see that? Or did he just see that his father took a woman that he wanted and then got to keep her? Right? Do what I say, not what I do is not the best parenting strategy. And what Amnon does to Tamar is worse, but it's not that different, right? At least he doesn't murder someone to cover his tracks. So what bad examples are we setting for the generations that are coming after us? Are we actively pushing against the boys will be boys culture that we see in these stories and that still prevails today? Do we really honor the victims of assault and injustice? Notice that David also never talks to his daughter Tamar after this. She's left as a ruined woman according to their culture. And in general, are we owning up to our mistakes, big or small? Right? Younger generations don't need to think that we're perfect. I can tell you they already know that we're not. So someone has to choose to break the cycle. David doesn't, and it just keeps getting worse for his family. God is not placing the sins of those before on us, but it is on us to address the consequences of those sins if we're going to create a better world.